With the 2022 Supercross season right around the corner, let's take a look back at what was one of the craziest off-seasons in the sport's history. I'm Tyler Deering, and welcome to Gate Drop News. Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Tyler Deering, and welcome to GDN. So I wanted to do this kind of silly season wrap-up as, like I said, this off-season was one of the craziest we've ever seen. We had riders going all over the place, from different factory teams to another, champions leaving, race winners leaving. It was crazy. So I wanted to give you guys an update on where everybody went. I wanted to start off with Eli Tomac and his move from Monster Energy Kawasaki over to Star Racing Yamaha. It was announced in May that Tomac would not be returning to Kawasaki after many motocross championships and the 2020 Supercross Championship. As soon as he announced that he would not be returning to Kawasaki, rumors that he was going to Star Yamaha were all over the place. In October, Tomac announced that this was true, as he would be joining Yamaha to partner Dylan Ferrandis for the upcoming Supercross and motocross season. Replacing him at Kawasaki was Jason Anderson, leaving Rockstar Husqvarna after a career with the team that has spanned over 12 years. I believe he's been there since he was an amateur. While the team has switched manufacturers several times, it will be the first time in his professional career that Jason Anderson will not be sponsored by Rockstar. He's moving over to take Tomac's spot and partner Adam Cianciarulo for the upcoming Supercross season. Both of these moves are interesting, as these are two champions of the sport. Tomac has had a little bit more success on the outdoor scene, but both riders are extremely quick, and it'll be interesting to see how they take to their new factory rides with their teams. Wrapping up, essentially, the three-team trade that took place between these teams, Malcolm Stewart announced that he would be leaving Star Racing Yamaha and taking over Jason Anderson's spot at Husqvarna. This isn't entirely surprising that Stewart lost his ride. He'd only had one podium in his Supercross career. When you ride for Star Yamaha, one of the premier teams in the sport, one podium is just not going to cut it. Now, if you noticed, I didn't say Zach Osborne. Osborne announced that he is actually going to retire and will not be racing in this upcoming Supercross season. This is a shame, as Osborne was one of the fastest riders of his time, winning the 2020 Motocross Championship in the 450 class with Husqvarna. While extremely quick, Osborne's back injuries had begun to take a toll on him, as he did not finish the 2021 season, and unfortunately these back injuries began to wear him out, as he will step away from full-time racing this year. Another factory rider that switched teams this year was Aaron Plessinger, moving from Star Racing to KTM. This was kind of a badly kept secret within the industry, as I started seeing reports as early as March last year that AP was moving. This was kind of the most badly kept secret in the motocross industry, as I noticed reports going back all the way to March that AP would not be returning to Star Yamaha. While it was just rumors at the time, it's not entirely surprising that AP decided to make the move. He never really found his footing in the 450 class with Star, although he did have a lot of success with them in the 250s. I think he just needed a fresh start on that KTM. He signed a multi-year deal to race both Supercross and motocross with KTM. He'll be partnering Cooper Webb and Marvin Musquin, who signed a one-year deal with the team. Musquin is a little bit older. He's 31 years old, and it is a Supercross-only deal. He will not be racing motocross this coming season. Musquin has been rumored to be in some of the best shape of his racing career, going 1-1-1 at the Paris Supercross, with many insiders in the industry saying this is the fastest they've ever seen him. At 31 years old, you think that this might be his last chance to get a Supercross championship, but I'm not so sure about that. I could definitely see a situation where he comes back, maybe does 2 or 3 more Supercross-only seasons. Musquin is extremely fast, and although his age, I definitely could see him making a run at the title this year. We'll see if he has the consistency to make it happen. Moving on to some non-factory guys, but still some very fast riders, Justin Bogle announced his move to Twisted Tea Suzuki, where he will replace Max Anstey. For 2022, the Twisted Tea Suzuki team will now field Justin Bogle and Brandon Hartrift for Supercross. Now, Max Anstey is not out of a ride, as he announced that he would be riding for Rocky Mountain ATV on the KTM to partner Joey Savacci and their other new signing, Shane Mcelrath. Mcelrath had a very successful career in the 250s. Although he didn't win a championship, this will be his first ride on a 450, and he will be partnering those two, making a run at the championship. That bike, while not a factory ride, is no slouch. It's pretty fast. I think that they'll get a couple good finishes, maybe sneak into the top 5, maybe get on the podium at some point. To round out the 450 class silly season, Alex Martin announced that he will be joining Club MX to be their only 450 rider for this upcoming season. Technically, Martin is a rookie in the 450 class, although he's made select starts throughout his career. He's more known for his 250 gig riding with Star. This deal is an interesting one, as he will be Club MX's only 450 outlet. Not sure how much pace that bike we'll have this year. Alex Martin is a veteran. I expect a couple good performances. Overall, we'll see where his pace puts him in the final series standings. I just hope he can stay healthy, to be totally honest with you. The Martin brothers have had some big hits in the last couple years. Both of them got knocked out at Orlando Supercross last year, so I just hope that he can stay healthy. Moving on to the 250 class. While not technically a 450 rider, Cody Shock announced that he would be riding for Phoenix Racing this upcoming season. If you'll remember back to the summer, Shock jumped on a 450 with his old team, FXR. While not a factory bike, Shock rode extremely well, coming home P6 at the Ironman National. These types of finish don't happen very often, and it was a little disappointing to see a factory team not take a chance on Shock for this upcoming season. But to be totally honest, it didn't look like he was going to have a ride at all for this upcoming Supercross season. I think a 250 deal with Phoenix is the best he was going to get. I hope he does well and that he can impress some factory team. The guy is so fast, especially outside. I wish that someone would give him a chance. We'll see if he can prove himself this coming season. Pro Circuit Kawasaki confirmed 4 out of their 5 riders from last year to return to the team. The only one that was not returned was Jordan Smith. Smith did not have the greatest of years last year as he was dealing with injuries throughout his time at Pro Circuit. Mitch Payton decided instead that he would be bringing up Jet Reynolds, who's been with the team for, I believe, 8 years in the amateur program, to fill the 250 seat. I think this is a good move for Jet Reynolds. Obviously, Pro Circuit is kind of a cutthroat environment. We'll see if he can hang with the pressure and see what he can do on the big stage. While Jordan Smith did lose his ride at Pro Circuit, he's not without a ride for the 2022 season. It was announced a few weeks ago that Firepower Honda would bring in Jordan Smith as well as Jarrett Frye to field a 2-bike operation in the 250 class. The team manager for this team will actually be Martin Davalos, who retired from racing at the end of last year with Team Tedder. Davalos experienced a very successful 250 career before moving up to the 450 class for the last 2 years of his time. Moving into the 250 manager role will be interesting for Davalos because I believe he will provide good insight to that team as they look to take 2 former factory riders and put them out in front of the world stage to see in the 250 class. Jarrett Frye, while not a current factory rider, did ride for Star Yamaha before experiencing injuries and then ultimately losing his ride. I think this team could be very underrated on some of the coasts, especially because in the 250 class, it tends to thin out towards the end of the year due to injuries and lack of funding from some part-time teams. So if these 2 guys can stay healthy, look for this team to make a run, not for the championship, but for a top 5 finish in either one of the coasts. It hasn't yet been announced who's going to run on what coast. Well, anyway, guys, that's all the time I have for you. This is the first video, so it's going to be a little bit choppy. Looking forward to making more videos like this. I'm hoping to make a championship preview video before A1 and then posting race reviews after each race so that if you're not able to see it, you'll be able to watch the review and understand what happened. So stick around here if you want some up-to-date Supercross content. Also, throughout the week, we'll be posting just injury updates from riders, who's going to be ready to go for the weekend so that you guys can stay up to date on exactly what's going on in Monster Energy Supercross. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one.